Hi, I'm Wild Bill, Artistic Affairs Correspondent for Redbeard Pirate Radio, and here is a Wild Bill ASC, Artistic Stream of Consciousness. The War Movie by Wild Bill Cox. I was carrying a wounded friendship around for years. No interactions, really, just my fond feeling toward buddies from the old days. Their input on my behalf was below minimal. See me on the street and say hi. Never called or planned any kind of meeting. 4 years had passed without a single call. This from folks who lived by the phone. We only met in passing. I offered them gold more than once, but they gave back nothing. We could have been strangers except for that fond feeling, a holdout from my younger days. I lately had the sense that I was in a war movie. I was carrying that wounded friend through the fire, desperately seeking aid in hopes he might survive. We'll make it, I grunted, dragging through the mud. Hang on. But that friend had become dead weight, never helping, never even making a sound to let me know he was still alive. I had to check. Leaning that awful weight against a handy tree, I examined the body, only to find that the person I was carrying wasn't who I thought he was. It was the corpse of a stranger. Had always been. I left it there, that pointless husk I for so long had thought was so important that I would not put it down, would not let it go. I realized there had never been a friend at all. I guess I made the whole thing up. What a waste of my time. My bad. Oh well, wipe my muddy hands on my pants and go on without it. I feel lighter, but a bit betrayed by my emotions. All that fond fellowship was one-sided. All those shared experiences, merely fever dreams experienced in delirium while carrying that lifeless husk. Sure, I'll share your resources, your food, any advantage I might find or gain while putting in as little effort as possible. The proof is in the pudding. A man can try to make friends with anything. A snake, a lizard, a stray dog or cat, a lion or tiger, even an octopus in a tank. I was doing it too. Here I was, trying to make friends with a corpse. It couldn't possibly go well for me, and it never did. I ended up without a place to stay, without a friend to cheer me on. Really, I can't even be angry. The body on my back had never promised me anything, had never contributed anything of lasting value, never really interacted with me at all, unless it directly benefited him or them. I feel lighter, less bound to the world now. I feel unbalanced, too. You can't carry that much weight without it leaving its mark on your life. I hate making decisions, but this one had to be made. That lifeless body had begun to nourish parasites while I was carrying it. I sure don't want them to choose me as their next host. I'm still lonely, even in a crowd of well-wishers, but I'm no longer carrying that dead weight of one-sided friendship around like it was something valuable. Gad, that feels better. Oh well, I've got plenty to keep me occupied. An opera, an album, the editing of Patchworld, blogs, vlogs, the archiving of my art until the day I put down my pen and close the piano forever. Disclaimer, I don't work in bands. I tried and they all failed miserably, usually blaming me. Guys with phones and cars blaming the guy without a phone or a car for a band's lack of gigs. Guys too lazy to lift a finger and dial. Guys who knew I was depending on that gig money to survive. Wild Bill, the corpse-carrying idiot. Alone, on the other hand, I demonstrate considerable talent, power, and ability. I'm not mobile unless a friend offers a ride, so I'm not going to look for gigs, unless I can walk and there's a piano waiting when I get there. I don't have the resources to conduct a career in music. I realize I don't have to reach friendly lines anymore. There's nothing there I need now. I'll just stay here in no man's land, creating art simply because I must. It's what I do. It's who I am. The screen fades to black amidst the sounds of war. The credits begin to roll. Crowd scenes provided by Borough of Sharpsburg. Moose choreography, Wild Moose Bill. Antler polishing by the Starlight Lounge, Blawnox. Wolf casting by The Streets, Inc. Signs, cue cards, and markers by Art Weber Signs. The makers of this film would like to thank the following agencies: the Schoolhouse, Main Street, Sharpsburg; the Greystone Manor, Duncan Avenue; Kaz's Cafe, Main Street, Sharpsburg; the Shiloh Inn, Mount Washington; the Reliance Hotel, Main Street, Sharpsburg; the Anchorage, Pymatuning; the Thunderbird Lounge, 19th Street, Sharpsburg; Giacomino's Ristorante, Main Street, Sharpsburg; Dave's Pizza, Linden Avenue, Sharpsburg; Pat's Pizza, Sharpsburg; Marion Girardi, George Delaney; the Borough of Sharpsburg, Pennsylvania, Ron and Jen; and R. Wigginton and R. Wigginton; Brian, Ed Casper, Snake Guy, Mick, Malcolm; Black Sky October, Casey Stengel, and Christine Fair-Siebert. About Casey Stengel: he was an officer in the Navy who, if he felt the need, would willingly risk himself for his men. He's the only officer I will ever willingly salute. Wild Bill, 31st of March, 2023.